release that and begin to walk your feet in and hug your knees into your chest. And little rocks from side to side. Little rocks. And then also maybe little circles over the base of your spine, just warming up your sacrum. And little circles the other way too. Just getting your lower back moving. Then you might like to keep your big toe joints together and begin to circle your knees outwards and inwards with your hands hanging onto your knees. And just doing a few of these, really getting your inner thighs moving. We're going to do a little bit of core work today. I will talk you through it. So let's do a few circles also the other way, back to front, reversing, still with the knees out to the sides and in. And then you want to lift your legs and lift your arms up into the sky and circle your wrists and your ankles. And really moving into your wrists and your ankles so that they're warming up. You can keep your knees soft, bent, and your elbows too, but really trying to get as much movement into your joints to really warm them up. And we'll do several one way. And then several the other way as well. Until you get a nice burning feeling. If it's enough for you, you can begin to release. If you want to do a few more, do a few more. And then you just want to stay effortlessly floating for a while. Just letting the blood drain from your toes and your fingertips back down. And then you want to slowly hug your knees in and let your feet drop down to the ground one by one. With your arms down by your sides. And then slowly begin to lift your right knee above your right hip and your right shin parallel to the floor. And then keeping this 90-degree angle, or trying the best as you can, you're going to lower the leg like a hinge down towards the floor below you and then back up. And at the same time, you want to think of drawing the lower back slightly into the ground so that it's kind of touching the ground. And then continuing this movement for several rounds. So just getting a sense of that hinging hip and the toes reaching down towards the ground and the lower back staying connected to the floor as best as you can. Let's do last one. And then you're going to release that foot back down. Rock your pelvis forwards and backwards for a few rounds. And then we're going to do the same with the left leg. So again, arms by your sides, lower back beginning to press into the ground. Bring your left knee above your left hip and your left shin along parallel to the floor. And then begin to hinge that leg. So toes reaching towards the ground and then coming back up. Trying to keep that 90-degree angle. So trying not to let your toes come too near the ground. Keep the lower back glued towards the floor. And keep hinging that leg for a few more rounds. And just notice what little muscles are engaging. Notice the pressing of your foot and your right foot. To help stabilize. And then last one. And then you're going to lift your right leg up as well. So you've now got this angle. So if at any point you need to come back to the version that we just did, then do. But if not, stay here and then again, find your lower back pressing to the floor. You're going to slowly extend your right leg down and then bring it back up. And just do the right leg 5 times. So that's 2, 3, 4, and then 5. Bring it back and then change with the left. Do the same. Left leg, release and bring it back. So this time stretching the leg completely. 3, 4, and last one. 5. Stretch out your legs for a moment, stretch out your arms, take a big breath in here. And then exhale, release, walk your feet back in. You're going to bring your left knee above your left hip. And then you're going to, at the same time, slide your right leg and your right arm down along the floor. You want to try and keep your lower belly, the lower back connected. And then you're going to lift your right leg up and down for a few rounds, maybe 5, if you can manage. But if that's too much, then just release. And so let's do one more. And then release it. Bring your arms back down by your sides, feet. Here again, little rocks with the pelvis forwards and backwards for a few rounds. Just to reset. And then right knee above right hip. You're going to slowly extend left leg and left arm up and over, and then begin to lift the left leg up and down for a few rounds. Try and keep your lower back connected to the floor. As best you can. And last one. And then release, extend both your legs up and, or your legs down and your arms up and over. Take a big breath here. Inhale, exhale. And then slowly walk your feet back in. You're going to bring your arms back down by your sides. This time you're going to lift your pelvis slightly up and off the floor. Just the pelvis and the lower back, and then slowly ripple that back down. And we're going to do that again. Slowly peel and lift the pelvis so that it's hanging off and above the ground, and then slowly release that back down. And 3 more. Slowly lift just the lower back and release back down. And then again, slowly lift pelvis and release back down. You're going to lift the pelvis up. You're going to lift the middle back up and off the floor and maybe into your upper back, but not too high. You want to try and keep hips, pelvis and shoulders in a straight line as best as you can. And then you want to drop your right hip towards the floor, but still hovering above the ground, and then squeeze the buttock back and lift the pelvis back up. And then do the same with the left. Let the left hip drop down and then squeeze it back up. And you're just going to keep alternating for a few rounds. If at any point you need to come down, then do. But otherwise, alternate, dropping one hip down and reaching it back up. And then dropping left hip down and reach it back up. And just keep doing that for a few rounds, squeezing and lifting. And just finding that movement in the glutes. Feel the glutes working to help strengthen your lower back, your deep core. Let's do one more round on both sides. And then you want to stay here and keep pressing your feet down into the ground. Keep this kind of really nice straight line for now. And then slowly soften and let your upper back and then your middle back and then your lower back connect back down to the ground. Now you can hug your knees into your chest, any little rocks from side to side.